Okay, so I had another thing to add. They were just telling me about how I tend to hesitate a lot. Uh, I tend to think a lot about what I'm gonna talk about, and I can see from my previous videos that when I try to create a theme or what I'm going to talk about, I stutter a lot, there's a lot of pauses, and even when I watch it, I watch myself and I think, it just doesn't seem fluid, you know? It doesn't have my passion in it. And it's not that I don't feel that passion, it's just that I should have done it in the moment so that it flows through me instead of going back into the past and trying to make it seem smooth. And I'm not saying that, going in the past is not a good thing. It's just I realize that if I try to force it instead of letting it unfold, it comes out glitchy, instead of a smooth system of thought. So what they were telling me to talk about was, it's like a smooth continuum, like the space-time continuum. Being in the moment. They liken it to free association and writing to learn. So it's like talking yourself to the truth. Because there is truth in everything, but you need to, it's almost like losing your mind. You gotta lose your mind to sort of just say whatever, that's how you get through the filter, is like, it's kind of like a cell body. It has like molecules that sort of infiltrate or penetrate the cell wall, and they got these little yellow guys, and I can't remember the name of them now, but they look like the secretory granules, but they're yellow. They're like the same thing, but they're yellow. I mean, maybe they're any color. But it's like these little guys, whenever something comes in, they go to it, and then they break it up, and it becomes maybe a part of the solution. The solution, the cytoplasm, that awesome fluid that's inside the cell. And when I picture that, I picture it as a movement. And it's like you got the truth right here in the center, okay? And then you got all these little bunches around it, like a molecule, like a complicated molecule. And it's like when you're moving through, even like an asteroid, when it hits certain waves, it sort of takes off this piece and this piece and this piece until you hit another little wave in time, and then this piece and this piece and that piece, until eventually it's like you smooth out, and you're now just, you're the truth floating around. And it made me think about how free association and free writing, like, writing to learn, is the same way, because you just write without thinking like a representing self. You got to break down the walls to find the true you. So instead of thinking about what I say comes out right, or what I say is going to reach people the way I intend it to, it's like the intention's already there. The intention, they said, is already in your heart. And by just speaking and letting it flow through you, you are speaking with your spirit. Because no matter how it comes out, you are moving through this continuum to break away what you want, what you don't want. And you just got to be happy with the process, because it's all beautiful. If we just went from here to here, I mean, you're missing the journey. You're missing all the beauty that you could be missing that. That's why it's important to stay in the moment and just start talking, because you just get better as it goes. It becomes more natural. If you just keep thinking about it, you're not actually experiencing it. It's hard to experience the change. It seems like it takes longer, because you just focus too much on one thing instead of just allowing it all to just unfold and happen as it will. But you also gotta notice, go out, side and check out your world, so you can see the change. If you don't see the change, then it's like you're kind of missing the whole point. You're missing the boat there. So, in the way a situation that I recently just experienced last night, was I was talking with my roommate, and I was in a moment of total brainwaves, and I was moving very quickly with what I like and what I don't like, and I was writing stuff down in my little notebook. And I talked about moving, and I talked about what I was going to do with my stuff, and I felt the need to move. I keep feeling the need to move, and Spirit tells me to keep moving, moving. And I took that very literal, in a physical sense. Like I need to move, like move my entire situation somewhere else. And I just started talking, because what I was doing was bringing the idea into my cell body, myself, this blood-brain barrier, I guess you could call it. And I was breaking through and realizing what I really want and what I don't want, and he was seeing the process of that. And when I said it all, it was like as soon as I let it out, I could feel from my roommate that he was hurt really bad. And in that moment, I couldn't understand, because I wasn't using my heart. I didn't let it resonate for a while. Because it's okay to think about possibilities, but ultimately you gotta be in the moment, because everything you need is right here. And even though I knew that, I didn't experience it. So as the day went on, he went and was trying to deal with my problem. I gave him my problem. I gave him my movement through my continuum. And I know that we all have our own paths, and it's okay to share, but you don't need to disrupt the pure order of things. I mean, and it's all part of the process, but it was totally unnecessary. And the more I went throughout the day, I realized that every place that I thought of, I was like, I don't really want to be there, because I like being here. And Spirit was like, look, when we tell you to move, we mean you need to move your mind around. You need to move other things, because you are exactly where we need you to be, because this is what you like, is the current moment, because your cell bodies don't want to be rushed. The order of the movement is perfect. You're exactly where you need to be right here in this moment. If there is something that you think you want, think about it. It's okay. You are honing in on possibilities of what you like and what you don't like. And you just have to trust that that is all going to happen if you stay in the moment. You just got to stay in the moment. We already know what your heart wants. We already know. It's already coming. So just relax. And we know that you love figuring things out, and that's curiosity is all part of everything. That's awesome. But you also got to realize you just can't make rash decisions, because the decision is already in your heart. It's like you're finding your way to your heart. And by listening to the current moment, by feeling the current moment, you now realize that what you're feeling is one of your cell bodies, one of your cell buddies, your cellmates, your roommate. You can now feel what he feels. And it's only a small piece of what he probably feels. So you need to stay in that moment and feel it, because now you know what you did went against the perfect order, that you're exactly where you need to be. And you can express these things, but express it with your cellmates. You gotta let it resonate with these guys. So they'll tell you, because you'll know, because I can feel them either fizz, or I get an upset feeling, or I don't feel anything at all. And it's like, you just gotta let it settle for a while, because what you think the truth is now, it's okay to think one thing, but just keep moving, because maybe it's something else. Maybe you don't even, it's like you know what you want, but your mind's getting in the way. But it's okay, because you got to use your mind to move through all that. You just got to keep moving that continuum. It doesn't have to be in a loop. Just keep going. Just keep going. So I thought I would share that, because I think, it's important that using real life situations, because we all are going through really weird, uncomfortable things perhaps. And it's good to feel it. You have to feel it. Because all you're doing is just letting it move through you. You move through the solution and it goes through that barrier. If you got an aura that's like a bubble, it comes in, and all the way it's reaching to get to you, it's just, you just taking away what you want, what you don't want, so that you can hone in on what it is you really do want. And it's continuous. So you don't even have to stop anywhere. You can go wherever you want. And it's okay to change your mind. But you don't need to push all that. You don't need to push your process onto other people's processes. And it's not to say that it's a mistake. It's just the process. But now you can see how your cellmates feel when you make a rash decision without consulting your cellmates. They're a part of you. This is what moves you. This is what creates your solution. The solution to the problem is in your solution. And they're creating solution for you. So, yeah, it was really powerful. And I explained it to my roommate, at the end of the day, how sorry I was that I did that, because I could feel that I hurt him very, very bad. I caused a rupture that it was unnecessary. It was like I plucked an unripe fruit that just wasn't ready. It wasn't ready yet. And it tasted bitter, because it didn't ferment enough to be a sweet potion. And it's okay. Spirit keeps saying it's okay. You gotta be happy that you realize it so quickly. That you can feel that. Because it's not like you're doing anything wrong per se. But the process helps you realize that you don't need to force anything. The force is already with and through you. You just gotta be in the moment. And you can share with yourself. And know that whatever it is that you want, if you want change, if you want move, you have to be in that movement. You got to be in the moment, so you can see all possibilities and hone in on what it is you really want. And just know that it's there. It's already coming. It's already on its way. You just got to be patient. And it's like you don't even have to sit there and watch the pot boil. You already know it's going to boil. We all know water's going to boil if you put heat under it. But if you sit there and you're impatient about it, how much awesomeness could you have experienced in that time, It's not to say you can't watch the pot boil. Of course you can. We can go outside and check out our world change. That's great. But don't force it. It's beautiful. You want to enjoy the experience. It's like you're teleporting, but you don't have to be like, oh, I'm here. Awesome. It's like they were telling me that you're in such a great place right now. of being able to witness what you're thinking and what your environment's telling you is part of such an ancient story you're actually seeing happen, because you are taking the time. You're taking back your time and you're watching it happen. There's nothing in the whole ancient text in the Bible, nothing that says it's all gonna happen right now. Right now. Boom. Because rushing it is like what my cell bodies, they were like, whoa, 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 we're not ready. We're not ready yet. This isn't okay. I don't feel okay. And they're like, that's only one perspective. If you look at the story of Revelations in a different perspective, you realize that it doesn't have to unfold like that at all. In fact, that's not even part of the galactic order. That's not the galactic ordering dynamic at all. It's only a perception, because you're looking in the future, or you're looking in the past, or you're looking from a different perspective. And that's okay, because you can experience whatever you want. But you realize that maybe that might be overwhelming. So come back to the current moment. Because you can watch all of that unfold, and it's only more verification that you are watching this grand design change written, and you can see that it's not happening in a flash. By being in the moment, it's like you slow down time so that you can watch the process unfold instead of suddenly awaking. You are awaking gradually, because that is more enjoyable than just being there immediately. Same way we watch movies. We don't want to, even if you can predict it, that's okay. It's all the blips and awesomeness that happen in the middle. Even if you already know what it's going to be. I mean, your heart already knows the ending. Well, what you want. It already knows. But all the comedy, all the beauty in between, you know? You can look at the petals of a flower, you can look at the very center of the flower. But you gotta realize that it's this spiral, and you are in a perfect moment where you can see the whole picture, and you're watching it unfold as you move through this tunnel. And you can feel it, and you can smell it, taste it. All these senses are absolutely perfect, and they only get stronger and more aware of your surroundings as you realize what you're experiencing is only bringing you closer to your truth. And it's all perfect, because we see you're learning, because you can feel what's going on. Even if you think you figure it out, that's awesome. Keep going. Could be something else. You never know. And the more you figure out, the more your world is going to reflect that. And it's like, we're seeing so many quantum leaps in science and breaking edge this and that, and like, oh, we're starting to realize this about the sun, and we're starting to realize that about the sun. They're like, did you ever stop to think that maybe you changing your mind is actually changing your environment? All these leaps are happening because more people are waking up. We see that, according to our past, we went from like somewhere that took forever to like, damn, like we're exponentially growing to this total conscious being in love, in loving the process. They're like, so if you see that your technology is growing and growing and growing, and your knowledge and the world's knowledge of the cosmos and the possibilities within the human cell are just increasing and so quickly, it's because you are literally creating your world by moving through the confines. You're moving through confines. And you can already see that it's making a big difference. But having the faith and like the belief that it really is coming from you, through you, and all your little cell buddies, cellmates, it's actually happening. But you gotta believe it. You gotta believe that that's really what's going on. because you can see it and you can feel it. I thought that was really powerful, because we can't, they said you can believe whatever you want and that it's not coming from you. But it's so much, it makes you feel so much happier knowing that it is your world, that it is coming through you. And the belief of imagination is so powerful when you add in the factor that you love believing that you are creating your world, that you are able to experience whatever you are changing in your mind and linking it up. So changing your mind and then loving that change, that you can imagine something else, and then going out into your world and checking out the sky and checking out the stars and the colors. You're doing it with love, and that's what's important. You got to realize how beautiful and how powerful you really are if you just love the experience. It happens so much quicker in the moment, because then time don't matter. Just like how I said, I play the guitar and I get totally lost, I don't hear or whatever, nothing. It's like, you're right here, right now. 8 hours went by, and you don't even, what happened? Because you were so in the moment that time simply was whatever you wanted it to be. You loved the moment. So all the change happens so much quicker in the moment. Which is like this paradigm, this dichotomy, this I don't know, right? It's like how Einstein talked about a moving train, right? This train of thought, perhaps. The soul train. And it's like, when you just watch the train go by, it's like, right? It's going super fast, and you see yourself as not even moving. But if you start moving with the moment you're witnessing, you now look totally like you're not even, it's totally still. And the concept of being still, or the concept of something moving, is really just perception. But if you hone in, you see that you're both moving at the same speed. As if it's not even a speed, like you're just there. And I think you also notice that when you see like a waterfall, you can either look at the whole waterfall and then you can see that the waterfall is moving fast. But if you like actually like watch the movement, you know, if you like focus in and then sort of like move your eyes with it, you realize you almost stop the waterfall. You stop that movement and you see, it's almost like you explode it. Because you can see one little piece, you can see it open up. Instead of it looking like confusing movement. And they're like, the fact that you can realize that you can actually experience that just by your perception of looking at one little piece, you see that it doesn't have to be looking like it's moving fast. They're like, that's you exploring your environment to realize that those concepts are absolutely true, because you can experience that. Yeah. So I thought I would share that, because absolutely what we can experience out here is totally a true concept. It's not your mind playing tricks on you. That's totally possible. Just gotta believe it, because we're experiencing it. Okay. Thank you for watching.